Hi everyone, my name is Burgess. Welcome to another tutorial. Today's one will be on how to paint a pumpkin, and this is part of a very short series on fall or autumn related scenery. The last one I did was a maple leaf, and that was this one, and that video went up a few days ago. So today I've got this pumpkin that I've drawn, and I'm going to put the drawing up for you, and so you can take a screenshot of it and print it out. But before I start painting this, what I want is to take this cocktail stick, and where all these grooves are, I want to indent them with this tool. It's not really a tool, I mean it's just a cocktail stick, but I want to indent them now, and then I'm going to rub them out. Now, I'm not pressing very hard, and I'm just doing it for these segments, just these segments, and I'll do it on the smaller pumpkin as well. And I'm doing this because I'm hoping that when I put my paints, put watercolor on there, some of the paint will settle in the grooves, and if it doesn't, then we'll just have to go in and add it, put the lines in using a small brush. And now we're going to do it for this one as well. Then I'm going to rub these lines out as much as I can, but not too much. I mean, I still want some of the guidelines there, just in case the indentation doesn't work. So just a sort of a general rough sort of rubbing out. And now I'm going to wet it. First I'm going to work on the pumpkins separately. First this one and this one. I don't want it wet into wet. I don't want it sort of a loose so it's mingling in. So what I'm going to do is just wet the pumpkin first. Use a fine tipped brush. A round brush will do for this. You can try using a flat, but I don't know how well you can get the flat to be precise when it comes to the smaller areas here like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take sort of a light wash of orange, very light, and put it in there, but I'm trying to leave some white areas as a bit of highlight. And if you find that you're losing the highlights, you can still lift them out. Now we're going to darken this with permanent red, and so it becomes a sort of an orangey color, and we're just going to paint that in. Now I noticed the indentation didn't really work as well as I'd hoped it would, so I may have to go back in with that same implement I was using and put that in as well. And I want to keep this as light as I can to some extent. I will be doing some lifting because I feel that some of these segments need to pop, and they're not really popping yet, but they will once we do some lifting. Now I'm going to go in with the tool because it didn't take in all of the areas, so now it's coming out, you see. So maybe it's best to do it while it's sort of still wet. I was hoping I could do it and it would go in, but it didn't, so we can do it sort of gently like this. and put more along the center here. Now, I've never painted a pumpkin before, so this could well go wrong, you know. Put a bit more dark on the top there. And put marks in. Add some crimson to the bottom just to darken that. Lift a little bit out here from the center. Go with some burnt sienna as well. We can darken the exterior quite a bit. And the bottoms again. More orange just to make the plump areas pop. To use some pure orange just to put the little marks on there. You can darken some of the center here where it meets. enhance those lights, those indentations, what I'm going to do is use some burnt umber with some red and just enhance those. This is quite strong, these ones. And we want them sort of going right in like that. Right in like this, so it looks like it's sort of in shadow underneath. And we want it here as well, when it's connecting to the stem. Stem here. And now I'm going to work on this second one, and I'm going to leave a little gap there. And what I will do is same sort of colors. Start off with a sort of a light wash of this orange, and I'm going to stipple it on. You know why? The reason is that the photo reference I have has severe markings on the pumpkin, so we can put them in sort of in a stipply sort of fashion, but I'm going to try and avoid touching this other one here. Maybe the dry brush, I didn't wet it, you noticed. I don't want it sort of mingling as much as I did with the other one. So we've got several with markings everywhere. And then we go in with orange and some red, just to make darken the orange. And we're just going to now sort of let it merge, leaving the white areas. I know it looks weird, I know. This pumpkin is not looking very happy. Neither is this one, to be honest with you. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Just do, but this side is going to be a bit darker, so let's just go in with the dark in there like that. And underneath here. And maybe up here too, where it sort of meets. And then we'll go in with the sort of indentations that we wanted. And again, as in my last painting with the maple leaf, I am using sort of makeshift supplies because it's impossible for me to get at my stuff. I just can't be bothered. It's too excruciatingly difficult. You have no idea. It just puts me off painting, puts me off doing anything. Just don't want to do it. Okay, so now let's use the end of this. So we can add some sort of burnt umber to the bottoms here. That's a nice colour actually. Let's add it to the bottom of this one as well. And we're going to put some extra orange on this side. With a bit of lifting, teensy weeny bit of lifting, not too much. because I know we want to make it look like it's plump. And then I'm going to take and just put markings everywhere, but leaving some light areas. Again, it's a challenge because I don't usually paint such subjects. I usually just do landscapes, but I thought, let's try something else. It's always fun to try something else, or challenging, and it's always nice to have a go, even though you can't really be sure you're going to get what you want, get the results you want, but have a go anyway. And I'm going to fill that shade in because it was getting dark in there, and you can fill that in with, let's just make this a bit bigger because it's looking too small. And we're going to go back in, and maybe at the end of the brush we can now you notice that these two are hard to distinguish, so what I'm going to do is on the big pumpkin here make some burnt umber with crimson, and what I'm going to do is actually I want the shadows to be maybe even darker, so you can add burnt umber to that as well, and add some shadow work along under here, goes all the way under here like so, and it's sort of under here too. Sort of blend it in by using a damp brush. What I'm going to do is paint the stem, and for the stem I'm going to use some sap green, and to that I'm going to add a bit of burnt sienna. The end of the brush, let's use a thinner brush, maybe this is a thinner one, and I'm going to put some lines in. Maybe that didn't work. Oh yes it did, but let's just make it a bit more pronounced, and then we're going to darken that with a bit more burnt sienna. That's not enough burnt sienna, let's use burnt umber for the green. Oh, I know, not burnt umber. Let's go back and mix in some type of Payne's grey type of colour. That's better, yeah. And we're going to put that at the edge here like this. And even along here, just to give it some variation in colour. Like that. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. Just take a bit of that colour out. Yeah, and what we're going to do is do the same thing with this one. So we can put some of the sap green down. We can a bit more, I think. Yeah, it's not, hold on, I'm just not being bold enough with the colors. Okay, yeah. And we can use the end of the brush again, put some striations in. We can add some reds to this as well, just to this one as well. Darker red, I think. Okay, we can add blue to darken it, and we can add it along here. And I'm going to just do the horrible brush and do some lifting out. Oops, some lifting. Just add this and some red in there as well, just to give it the autumn vibe for the leaf, for the stem as well. I think it's called the stem. Now I want to enhance this shadow that's coming in from the hold on, let's just darken that shadow. Burnt sienna. Just for that, I'm going to go back in and darken this a little bit more, because it's casting a shadow onto that pumpkin there, and we're going to add a bit more shadow to this side. Easy with a bit more. Burnt sienna is your friend when you want to do things like this. And now I'm going to put the shadows under the pumpkins. For this we're going to use my homemade shadow that I made the other day. We can use a black and a blue. We can add it just to the bottom like this. More dark in the center there, where the two are sort of overlapping. And a little bit extra dark where the pumpkin is touching the ground, the surface or whatever it's resting on. Or we can, I think we went over there too much, a little bit there. I don't know. You see, I'm not working for a reference. It's just the photos I took and the photos I have. I don't know where it is. Okay, so we can add a bit more here. And there. Don't think it needs something, right? Oh, I think what I should do is remove some of that. Okay, and instead of that, we can add, yeah, that's better. So here's our pumpkin. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. And next time I'm going to paint some lovely trees, autumn trees. So I hope you will look forward to that one. Please do tune in. Please consider subscribing. And I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you.